But so after business school, I had some job offers, was trying to make a decision, and my best friend was lead singer of a band in LA. And in an altered state, they asked me to be their band manager, which I agreed to. And so I turned down these nice offers to manage a band, and that turned into a 10-year career, me working in the music industry, which eventually led to me working for Robert Kardashian. He had a music marketing company, and I was the senior vice president. And so my life was, it was fast-paced. It was, how do we define success in this Western world of make lots of money, have nice things, be pleasure-seeking missiles, all of this kind of stuff was...
You were doing it.
I was doing it. And the better you did it, the more successful you appeared to be, and that success bred more success, and so you...
Man, is that because everyone around you they're all agreeing that this is the goal?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many spots on the red carpet and at the VIP section at the Grammys, and there's not a space for everyone there, right? And so it's this competition to be there.
Is there a fear of not being in that VIP section? Is that a part of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants to be somebody.
Yeah.
And part of being at that place is being somebody.
Okay.
Or so we think.
Right.
Right. And for me, that was the lesson I learned, is that all of that stuff that you work so hard to attain, and that whether you're aware of it or not, you're competing for, all that got me was a really great panic attack and depression and anxiety disorder.
And at what point did that start to set in? So you're having this really successful career, it just keeps kind of ramping up.
Yeah.
When did the depression and the anxiety show up?
I was starting to have these moments where, I write about this in my next book, where I was at a pool party in the Hollywood Hills, and I had this moment where I was looking around the pool, and there's a DJ, and there's drinking and drugs, and there's models, and then all of a sudden I started looking at the guys who were there. And it's like, am I gonna be that guy who's 55 years old, thinking he's cool, doing this for the rest of his life? And wow. I started having this moment it was on a Saturday morning, and all of a sudden something inside me felt very uncomfortable. And so I actually left the party immediately.
Sometimes my friends in recovery will talk about a moment of clarity. Was it that, or?
Maybe in hindsight it was a moment of clarity, but I didn't listen to it.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
Because I drove home, I didn't know what the feeling was. I never felt it before, and it was awkward, it was uncomfortable. But I just kind of, I think, just pushed it off and just went back to, the weekend was over, back to work. But it was a Monday morning, a few months after that, where I woke up with a massive panic attack. And I guess you'd call that a moment of clarity, but it was a moment of hell. And that was the moment that really changed everything. Most of my life, I feel like life was good. And if you looked at Matt on paper, it's like great family, great.
Right, check.
Yeah, like,
right.
It's even embarrassing to say, but it's like homecoming king, all 4 years of high school, UCLA water polo player, grad school, top 10 business school, Robert Kardashian, senior vice president, working on projects for U2 and Coldplay. Like, okay, really stop your whining, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you looked at it on paper, things looked really, really good. But I was exposed, after that Monday, I was exposed to a whole new set of emotions and what it meant to be human.
Wow.
I didn't understand depression and anxiety and all that stuff.
And so now there's like a mystery wrapped up in all of this as you're trying to find your way through this fog of depression. You're still working this high pressure, high profile job.
Correct.
How was that going?
Well, I mean, my sickness was my secret, I believe, and that's part of why one day I broke. And also my recovery for a long time was my secret too.
Okay.
I had very few people that I trusted with it, because I did still work in the industry. I did have a reputation, and the truth is it was none of their business, and I was just trying to figure out, I was in survival mode. I was trying how do I get through this day? Right. And there were days that I thought about ending it and not trying to get through the day anymore because it was so hard, you know, and those are scary thoughts. They're very real thoughts for people. And, you know, fortunately, the big thing that happened for me is that one day my therapist said, I want to give your recovery a motto. And the motto is that you're never going to feel better until you know what it means to live a life that's not about you. And I didn't understand that at all. And it was about 3 months into this process, I was out picking up trash one day in LA by myself. And some buddies called me and invited me to one of those pool parties again.
Right.
And I actually said, hey guys, I'm actually out picking up trash right now. I'm good. And it was like, oh crap, I just outed my secret.
There went your anonymity.
Right, number one. Number two, this is what Denise meant, that I actually found more purpose and joy and significance in picking up other people's litter than I did going up to a pool party where maybe one day when I was 55, I'd still be doing it. And that was the moment where I said, wait a second, I'm not the only person looking for purpose in all the wrong places.